goodness, it's only preseason, but I'm hyped. Neil Thought, Jimmy G buckets, gets buckets. Oh my goodness, give me the hot sauce, Neil Thought, give me the hot sauce. What are you doing, Dragic? Did you not get the memo? Derrick Rose can go upstairs.
It is Super Bowl Sunday, and we are taping a special Sunday edition of Gimme the Hot Sauce. It is episode 118. We're talking a lot of Bulls and NBA. Bulls insider Casey Johnson from NBC Sports Chicago is going to join us in just a few minutes. Stacey just back from the road trip, which, of course, did not go well. The Bulls going 0-3 on the trip. And, hey, I saw some shots of you at Barclays sitting on the sideline enjoying the game. You had your boys with you. Was that an interesting thing to just hang out and not have to call a game?
You know what? We were a fan. You know, we were a fan, and, you know, me and Adam were sitting there, and my boy Matty Nice, you know, he was there too. And so we got to watch the game as a fan.
I know.
And I was disappointed like a fan. I left the arena disappointed. You know, I was highly disappointed. And so we made a pact when we got on the bus to get ready to leave. Me and Adam, we just, hey, listen, man, it's over. Let it go.
Yeah.
We're not going to carry it with us, you know, to Cleveland. Let it go. We're fans tonight.
I saw Sarah Kustok was there. I assume Nick Friedel was there as well. Did you get a chance to chat with them?
We didn't. We talked to Sarah, but we didn't see Nick.
Yeah.
Nick was somewhere hiding in the arena somewhere. I don't know where he was at. You know, he's got all these little secret compartments that, you know, when you're a big time reporter like Nick, you have like different rooms you can hide off into. Yeah. Suites. That's how big Nick is now.
How's Sarah doing?
Sarah's doing good, man. Sarah's big time.
I know.
Sarah,
everybody knows her in that arena.
You know, Comcast Sportsnet, you let a good one get away.
A lot of good ones get away.
Hey, speaking of our guy over here, he got away too. So a lot of people got away. She was a big fish, got away. She's doing a good job. She's doing, you know, she's working. She's got podcasts, NBA podcasts. She's doing like NBA,
college games.
She's doing talk shows.
Yeah.
She's big time.
Yeah, she is big time. We love Sarah. Hey, let's talk a little bit more about what's going on with the Bulls. You know, the game in Brooklyn was one that you thought for sure they'd get that W because they had just made a couple of trades. They were shorthanded. They were missing like four guys that they just – and yet the Bulls came out flat in that game.
Oh, Mark.
Yeah, I know, but Bulls fans are feeling your pain.
3 games in a row where they took big leads in the end of the quarters, into the fourth quarter, and they lost. Makes no sense. They play the right way the first 3 quarters. We even made a comment last night's game against Cleveland. You know, there's 4 or 5 guys, 6 guys in double figures. The ball's moving. Bulls have 27 assists. It's really, really fun to watch. And then all of a sudden, the fourth quarter comes, and it's, you know, you hear this, oh no, not again. I don't know. It's not oh no, not again moments. It's not playing the game the right way, and doing the same things that got you the lead. You know, we have guys in there, I think, that have agendas. You know, when they get the lead, it's like, you know, it seems like, well, it's my turn to shine. It's my turn to get off. And you can't do that. Not when you're struggling like they are. You've lost too many games doing it that way, and it's not working. At some point, when are you going to recognize that it's not working and we need to change what we're doing? And right now, they're not.
Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm sure noticed that Tim has a Bulls sticker on his shirt.
Yeah,
and it's not really sticking. You need some Elmer's glue,
can we
or how are we going to
get
fix that up for you?
This is a buy a jacket get 2 free, and so he you know he wanted the Bulls Nation to say, like, he wanted y'all to see that he's truly repping the Bulls. So he put this fake Bulls head on here and glued it with some super glue, and it's not working.
Fake 75.
Look!
Oh my goodness!
Is this the one coming off on the back?
Okay, yeah, I see it. The one on the back's coming off too.
I know.
Wow, where'd you get that at?
Saks Fifth Avenue. Literally.
We just lost another sponsor.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Saks, how much it cost?
You don't want to know.
Yeah, tell us. People want to know
because we want to know what you pay for this fake patch.
4 something.
I'll get your money back.
So was that sticker actually flat on the surface when you got it, and it's already coming? How many times you worn that thing?
Peel the whole thing. Hey.
No. I'm just saying, is it all glue?
Oh my goodness.
Look at this. America.
Hey, it looks perfect. It looks perfect now.
Now you can buy it.
America, this is a $400. This is a sweet jacket. When I first saw it, but all you got to do right here, just lick it.
Yeah.
Stick it right back on. Look.
Oh no.
Look.
Yeah.
Just as good as new.
Just put some hot sauce on the back of that and stick it on.
Save it for the show, baby.
I guess that's room.
I got somebody who can fix that for you, for real.
Do you?
Oh, do you?
Yeah. You know what? It should be sewn on. It should be sewn on. It shouldn't be.
Absolutely.
This kind of stuff. You pay $400 for a jacket, an NBA jacket, everything on. Let's see the other side, Tim. Okay, see, I don't know if you can see the back. See, look at this. She's got another sticker on the back. These things should be sewn on.
Yeah.
That's first class.
We'll get Pete, the sign guy, to fix up.
Be so hard on these jackets.
No, I am going to be hard on it.
Oh,
because
man.
you pay $400. That's not a $400 jacket. That's more, if the things are falling off with glue, it's like $75 jacket. So let's get our money. Sachs, if you're hearing it, we might have lost you as a sponsor, but we don't care. It's justice. Get this man a legit coat with legit patches that don't fall off. Don't fall off on one washing. It's like, there you go, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry I did that, Tim. I didn't mean to bust him out like that.
I was afraid to wash it.
Yeah, don't wash it, man. Just get some super glue. It'll stay. Get some Gorilla glue. Get the Gorilla. Gorilla. Get some. Put it on there.
Nice. He's going to show up here in a minute.
Yeah. Oh, really?
As soon as you say it.
Oh, Gorilla glue. We didn't make
guy's right there.
Cold blue. We gotta glue it back on, please. Oh, Lord.
Wow. So last Thursday was the NBA trade deadline. The Bulls were one of two teams that didn't make any moves. What was the vibe around the team? Obviously, you were there. People kind of surprised that nothing was done, Stacey?
Mark, it's a business, number one. Every player is tradable. Some of the greatest players in the game have been traded. It's part of the business. If you get bent out of shape because your name comes in a trade, you should be really thankful because someone's talking about you. Somebody wants you, So it's when they don't talk about you and then they cut you is when you go, oh, man, this league's really rough. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you get bent out of shape because your name comes up in the trade, I mean, you're not a professional because that's what happens in the professional sports. Guys get traded all the time. Superstar players get traded. Charles Barkley got traded. Wilt Chamberlain got traded. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar got traded. These are all-time greats got traded. So anybody can be traded. So you can't get bent out of shape like that, and you still have a job to do. As long as I'm here, I'm going to play. That's what your philosophy should be. As long as I'm here, I'm going to give maximum effort. I'm trying to get to the playoffs. Let's do what we need to do to get to the playoffs. But you could tell the body language of certain guys was not right, after that game, especially against the Nets. And I knew that was a game against Brooklyn that was going to be tough because once you see Kyrie's gone, once you see Kevin Durant's gone, so we just show up and beat the Nets because they don't got anybody. They got a bunch of new players that just came there, Spencer Dinwiddie and all these guys, and you take them lightly, and they beat you. And it's like, wow, man, this has been the MO all year long.
Yeah, in a game against Cleveland, it looked like Cleveland had played the night before in New Orleans. They got in late. The Bulls were rested, and they controlled the action for most of the first three quarters. And as you mentioned earlier, in the fourth quarter, just things go haywire, and they couldn't score down the stretch.
Well, again, not utilizing the one weapon they have that other teams don't. You have a post big guy that can score in the post and also distribute the basketball to make your job easier. They refuse to utilize Vooch in the post. And then Vooch, I feel, doesn't get the ball in the post. So then he just said, well, if I don't get the ball in the post, I'm just going to stay on the perimeter. And he stays out on the perimeter. And then he looks for threes. And then that's not his strength. Even though he's probably one of the Bulls' top three-point shooters, in the game when you're struggling to find offense, where do you get it? Points in the paint. They had a lot of points in the paint yesterday when they were winning the game. They went away from that. And then, again, it comes down to mental toughness in tight situations. Billy Donovan said something a couple of weeks ago that the Bulls always seem to wilt when the other team turns up the pressure. And that's something as a player you don't want to hear a coach say. You don't want to hear that. So you should take that personal. From that point on, when he said that, you should have taken that personal. And because it's obvious, we saw it these last three games. As soon as the other team starts, gets a run, the crowd gets into it, the defense turns up. They start to pressure burst pipes. You can see it, and you can see it in their faces and their body language. And they just can't forget a bad play. They can't forget a bad shot. They take it with them on the next play, which affects the defensive end. Because you don't score on one end doesn't mean that you stop playing on the other end. Because if you're having a hard time scoring, which they did, they went 3-4 minutes without scoring. That means Cleveland's got to go 3 or 4 minutes without scoring. That's what good teams do. If we're not scoring, you're not scoring. Right. So we're just going to have a low-scoring game like that high school basketball game was 4-2. That's the kind of game we're going to be playing in the fourth quarter. No one's going to score. And then our defense is going to get some transition buckets. They had good transition points yesterday. They went away from that. The Bulls are much more effective when they run. You can see it every night. When they push the ball and run, when you get the ball and Io's going downhill, Patrick Williams is going downhill, they score in transition. It's when the older guys want to walk the ball up and they want to play half court and they want to just pound the ball. They want to hold the ball. That's where the Bulls really have a hard time, especially in the fourth quarter. I don't know if they're tired in the fourth quarter. I don't know. But it just seems like it's a different team in the fourth quarter with a lead than it is the team who got the lead.
A lot of news around the NBA in terms of guys that might be getting bought out of their contracts that could become available. One of the biggest names, of course, is Russell Westbrook, the future Hall of Famer.
Get him.
He's been linked to the Bulls. In what way do you think Westbrook could help the Bulls, Stacey?
Tremendously, with effort and energy every night. Okay, one thing you can't say about Russell Westbrook is he doesn't play hard. This is a superstar player. You can say he can't shoot. You can say, oh, he's a terrible shooter. Okay, I'll give you that. He may not be the best shooter, but I would take him on my team any night because this is one guy you don't ever have to worry about coming ready to play. This guy loves to compete. He loves to play. He's gonna inspire other people to play hard because when you see a guy, his superstar, this is a Hall of Famer.
No question.
This is not some fringe player. This is not some guy past his prime. This guy, a few seasons ago, before he went to the Lakers, was a triple-double machine. He goes to the Lakers, and everybody wants to put him as the scapegoat. Well, he's the reason why Los Angeles, was bad. It's all Russell Westbrook's fault. Come on, man. I'm not even trying to hear all that. First of all, LeBron James doesn't want to take any kind of criticism whatsoever. The GM LeBron James should be fired because the GM LeBron James was the one who set these teams up. He brought all his friends on the roster. He recruited guys to come play with them. And then when they got there, it didn't work out. And he didn't take any responsibility for that. Okay? Russell Westbrook, you recruited him. You knew what kind of player Russ is. The coaching staff knew what kind of player. The organization knew what kind of player he is. He's a ball-dominant guard. He's a guy that has to have the ball in his hands. He wants to get the ball, rebound the ball at the point guard position, and push in transition. He will pass. That's the reason why he gets triple-doubles. But you better run with him. LeBron doesn't want to run in transition. LeBron wants to walk the ball up, shoot a step-back 30-foot three. That's what he wants to do. The coaching staff should be the blame, for not knowing how to put Russell in situations where he could succeed. You're telling Russell now, okay, we want you to be sit in the corner, stand there and shoot threes. That's not his game. Get him going to the basket, set some cross screens, have him dive, cut to the basket, throw him balls where he can get the ball on the bounce and attack the rim. Pick and roll between him and LeBron. When LeBron's out the game, make him the primary ball handler. Make him be the guy. As long as LeBron's there, he'll be the primary ball handler. But you telling Russ, if you get the rebound, you push it. LeBron, if he gets the rebound, you got to run. So.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, we just had a quote up there from Dave McMenamin of ESPN saying that a source told him that the Lakers were happy to get a vampire out of the locker room because he was sucking the blood out of the life of the team.
The source is LeBron's people. LeBron runs the media. Okay, let's just be real. His agent he's got control over big people who are talking heads. He's a talking head, okay? And he has a problem with Russell Westbrook from Oklahoma City days, okay? So that was personal. That right there is probably lazy journalistic, stuff. To sit up there and call a guy a future Hall of Famer a vampire in the locker room, what is he doing? Is he terrorizing the coaching staff? Is he beating up players? Is he, when you walk into the locker room, you turn the lights on, he's sucking on somebody's neck? What is he doing that makes him a vampire? I don't get that, okay? So do you have to walk around the locker room with holy water?
Yeah, I guess so.
Garlic on the walls. That is a terrible statement to say. If you want to say, hey, listen, his numbers have been down, you want to talk about his numbers, you want to talk about his play, that's one thing. But to try to assassinate a kid's character and make him seem like he's a cancer in the locker room, you go to every single team that Russell Westbrook's been on before the Lakers, and there's not a player that doesn't have something nice to say about him. I saw Bradley Beal come into his defense the other day and basically said, all this stuff and this, like, he's a terrible teammate and all this stuff is completely false. He was one of his best teammates. That was including John Wall. He's one of his best teammates. So you don't hear that in the locker room. And again, when certain people, I don't know who's doing it. I don't know who the people are, but there's certain people that control the media from LeBron's camp. And so, they're going to put it out there. Hey, he's a vampire. Yeah. Yeah. So then he runs with it. And he's the only one, think about it, he's the only one that you saw And Brian Windhorst. And Brian Windhorst is another guy that is on LeBron's team.
Yeah, he's always been on.
Guy. Yeah, you know, and for him to sit up there and say, you know, the guy's a cancer and, you know, he did this, did that, and he's worst teammate. You know, have you ever played Brian Windhorst? Like, seriously. Have you seen him? I mean, come on, man. You know, come on, dude. Really? I mean, people who've never played, and you're talking about a guy who broke a record that no one ever thought would be broken, average a triple-double, like 3 times, I think.
3 times.
3 times. We never thought we'd ever see that. We thought Oscar Robinson's record was going to be there for eternity because there's only certain people that can make that record, that could have broke that record. That was Magic Johnson. He couldn't do it. That was Larry Bird. He couldn't do it. Then you got LeBron James. You got Rondo, who Rondo could have done it if he really focused on it. But you really have to really lock in to do that kind of record. To do it 3 times and a future Hall of Famer, he deserves more respect than he got.
Hey, our special guest, Casey Johnson, is in the Sriracha waiting room, so we're going to bring him in, of course. And before we do that, I want to tell you about one of our great sponsors, our good friend Jeff Vukovich. When it comes to insurance for your auto, home, and business, make sure you contact the king of insurance, our guy, nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. You can reach him at jeffvuk.com. That's jeffvuk.com. He also has the best jingle in the NBA, doesn't he, Stacey?
Nationwide is on your side.
Oh, woo! Man, you get the full treatment on Super Bowl Sunday. Casey Johnson is next. I don't know how he's going to follow that, but we'll try here on Give Me the Hot Sauce. The music is back, and you know what that means. It's time to bring in our special guest, the one and only Casey Johnson, the Bulls insider from NBCSportsChicago.com. Stacey, thanks for joining us on a Super Bowl Sunday. Most people will hear this on Monday or Tuesday, so you know they'll catch up on what's going on. We'll pretend that the game has already been played. What's going on, Stacey?
Oh, sorry, Mark. You said, "Hey, Stacey, thanks for joining us."
That?
Yes.
Well,
did you hear it?
Yeah.
No, Stacey sounds like KC.
Yeah,
nobody knows how dry I am.
It is Super Bowl Sunday, you know. Casey Johnson, how are you? I know you did. Were you on any part of that road trip?
I was on everything but Memphis, unfortunately.
Oh my gosh.
Man, that was some rough stuff, man.
Stacey just gave his review about the fourth quarter failures. What's your theory on why the Bulls can't finish games this season?
I think it's a combination of veterans that take it upon themselves to try to do too much rather than trusting the system, and also just veterans that are kind of not setting the tone from the start. So when it gets down to the end, you know, they kind of just are like, here we go again. And they just kind of give into it. And they just are not handling adversity well. They haven't from the second half of last season onward. And I don't know. I mean, I didn't have Stacey in my ear last night in Cleveland, but I found out from Twitter that he was giving it to him pretty good. And he should have, because that was there are a few losses that offend my basketball sensibilities, and that one offended my basketball sensibilities.
I agree with you. I mean, listen, you have a big lead going into the fourth quarter, 3 games in a row, okay, and not being able to understand, you know, what got you the lead. It was good ball movement. Everybody was touching the ball. They had 26 assists going into that. The ball was moving, and normally when the Bulls have 25 plus assists, they normally win. And to see that game last night, 27 assists, it was very frustrating because it got to the fourth quarter, Casey, and it was like, well, I'm going to do my stuff now. I'm going to get mine off, and I'm going to go one-on-one. And they refuse, and I've been saying this all year long, they refuse to play through Vooch when they have hard time scoring. You know, it's that they go away from Vooch. He didn't even touch the ball hardly in the fourth quarter, and when he does, he takes threes.
I'm sure you covered this before you brought me on, but to me, the most disappointing or discouraging aspect of it was, I mean, that was so set up for a schedule win. And not only did Cleveland play harder in the fourth quarter, they were completely the aggressor in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
The Bulls were on their heels. And that's a team that got home at 5 in the morning, and the Bulls were already in Cleveland. So that one, like I said, that one offended my basketball sensibilities. It was just unbelievable to watch.
Casey, what did you make of Arturas's comments after the trade deadline? It sounded to me like he was almost angry that they weren't able to get anything done, that none of the trades materialized. I don't know if it was a luxury tax issue that prevented them from being able to make a deal, but it almost was like, okay, I didn't do it now, but give me 28 games and we're going to do some stuff in the summer. You know, he really was kind of laying the groundwork for, I know this isn't working. We couldn't get it done today, but damn it, we're going to get it done this summer. Is that kind of the take you had from it?
Completely my read, Mark, and that's what I wrote in my column at NBCSportsChicago.com. And I understand fans' anger. I get it, and it was a layup. To take shots at them and be angry and put vitriol on Twitter. I understand all that, but my response to that is you don't know what deals were out there, so you want them to make a bad trade just to appease an angry fan base. I mean, people say just do something. Well, what if they were all bad deals? And making those deals, you would have put the Bulls in a worse situation. So what I completely heard is what you heard. This is a guy that understands this roster is not working, and changes are coming this offseason. And my eyes are on I could be wrong. This is complete speculation, but my eyes are on the two big guys in DeRozan and Levine, because they'll bring you the most back. And it certainly sounds like they not only do they want to re-sign Vucevic, but to me, you almost have to, given how much you paid to get him. Letting him walk for nothing would be catastrophic for this franchise. So my eyes are going to be on DeMar and Zach.
Well, Casey, I know, like, Bulls fans, because I'm on Twitter and I'm on social media, so I know the ire, like, why didn't they do something? Why didn't they do something? Like, oh, my God. This is not NBA 2K, okay? You just can't be making deals. And if it's not a deal that knocks your socks off, where you have to give up more than what you're going to get back, and then you're going to get, like, I don't want to say trash back, but you get something that's not going to help you when you got 26 games left. Yeah. Like, is the person you bring to the Bulls, are they going to make you go 26-0? Because if not, then you don't really need to make a trade. And I see how Arturas is. Arturas is competitive. Like, he really wants to win. And by the moves that he made when he first got here showed you that. And I know it's easy for people to go, well, we gave up Larry, he's an all-star. Well, he wasn't an all-star when he was here. He was struggling when he was here. The confidence was down. He wasn't the same player. Wendell Carter wasn't the player he is now in Orlando. These were still young players developing. I see them doing the same thing they did with Lonzo Ball when we got him. They pushed to try to get him in the trade deadline, didn't get him. They revisited in the summertime to find a way to get him. I feel that's the track that they're heading to. Whether they go back and revisit what we thought was with the Knicks, because you kept hearing the Knicks was involved and they had all these players, and if they go back to the Knicks, but I think they're gonna do something in the summertime by bringing something quality back.
That's a great point, Stacey, that I hadn't thought about with the Lonzo Ball situation, because you're absolutely right. They were really seriously in on him at that trade deadline where they acquired Vucevic and didn't get him, and then moved right to strike on him that summer in that sign and trade transaction. So again, we're not privy to all the talks. I don't think those Knicks talks, I was told they did not happen this week, that they were pretty cursory and they happened some time back, but that's certainly a team that has been looking for a star after losing out in the Donovan Mitchell sweepstakes. And maybe they come this summer with a package for DeMar or Zach. And, that's, to me, what is the next step, because I think you need a reset on this franchise. Whether or not you think the big three is a failure or what have you, I do think there's a ceiling to this big three. I think that's been pretty proven to this point, particularly when you don't have Lonzo Ball in there to make it all go. So it's going to be a busy summer for sure for the Bulls.
Yeah, one of your colleagues over at SNY in New York had a long piece about the trade deadline talks pertaining to the Knicks, and he said, yes, those talks were earlier, before the deadline, but he did reference the fact that guys like Fournier, Derrick Rose, one of their young rotation players, and multiple draft picks were discussed in a possible Levine package. That's a pretty good return, but now the going rate on not even all-stars, but guys who are just decent NBA players. I mean, Rudy Gobert brought, 3 players and 4 first-round draft picks? The Bulls could reset this pretty quickly if they make the right deal for one of their stars.
Yeah, I did not hear that package. I know Ian Begley is a very good reporter. I know he reported that. I did not hear that specific package. I personally think that's a lot to give up for Zach LaVine. But you're right. I mean, that's kind of the going rate for for all-stars in today's NBA is, multiple first-round picks and talent. That package also would change probably this summer. I mean, Derek's situation is up in the air with I believe that's a team option for
team
next season.
option,
yeah. And then Fournier has one more year plus a team option. But again, I do think the Bulls are going to be active this summer. This is basically 3 straight transactional cycles that Arturas has sat out, other than adding, Drummond and Dragic in free agency last year, because he made so much change at the start. So he wanted to see it come together. It has not come together. And now I fully expect him to do something to try to address that this summer.
Well, his big thing was continuity. Getting this group to play a lot of games together before you judge them, but it hasn't worked out. I mean, for whatever reason, without Lonzo Ball and having a true point guard, this is the reason I believe this team has struggled, because Lonzo has the ability to get Zach easier shots, much more efficient shots. DeMar gets easier shots. Vooch gets easier shots. He just controls the tempo of the game. They run a lot more when he's at the point guard position. They have missed that this year. They don't get out in transition. The young kids want to run. The young players want to run. The older players want to walk the ball up the floor and let's go half court and just pound it. I think that's been a problem. Where do you rank? What do you think about Billy Donovan? I mean, I like Billy as a coach. I like him as a coach. I think there's some things that I would like to see him hold players a little bit more accountable when guys don't come out ready to play. Because I played, listen, I'm not some guy just talking about basketball. I played the game. And even Phil Jackson, as great as he was as a coach and as great as, the team that we had that I played on, if guys weren't ready to play, he set you down. Like, come sit down, let's think about it a little bit, get your mind on the game and come out ready to play. I'd like to see Billy do that a little bit more with some of these guys. Hold them accountable. He did it with Zach early, and then everybody gave him, oh, I can't believe he did that. He did the right thing. Don't you agree?
Well, it's funny because I sound like a waffle. I've got multiple theories on that, but I've got a lot going in my head right now. What I would say is I don't agree with that move, but then what I don't agree with it even more is because I think stars have earned the right to play through a bad game. Now I understood Billy said it went past Zach's bad shooting and just to not playing to the standard at both ends that he wants. But my problem with it was he did it, and then it kind of backfired on him because Zach was so mad that it certainly seemed like Billy acquiesced kind of almost the other way. And look, that's Billy's MO, is he's always been a player's coach. He's always going to err on the side of the players. What I was going to say initially when you were asking my opinion about Billy Donovan, the first thing I would say, and everyone here knows this very well, a coach is only as good as the roster he's given, right? And I just think this roster has some issues. I mean, we've been pointing them out ad nauseum, the lack of shooting. In today's NBA, it's just really, really, really hard to win. But this team also doesn't get to the line very much. So you're basically expecting this team to score, a perfect game almost, with, 2-point shots and stuff like that. So that's where I would start with Billy. I do think that, his MO has always been to appease the players and kind of cede to the stars, right? That's what he's done in Oklahoma City. That's what he's doing here. That's just his style. I do think he's made some nice adjustments this year. I thought his attempt to try to diversify the offense and not have it be so isolation-based was a good thing. Defensively, they've played pretty well all season, at least statistically. They've had some lapses where they've given up too many second chance points, obviously. And then when you turn the ball over, you just are giving teams free points. But yeah, I think Billy's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. He's got an incredible track record from college. He's a very solid pro coach. Is he elite? I don't know. I think he'd be right on that cusp of, that first tier of elite coaches and then probably the very good coaches from my perspective.
Casey, you had a chance to have an extended conversation with Zach in Cleveland. You can find that at NBC Chicago, NBCSportsChicago.com. It was a really good interview that you had. But, one of the things, Zach, you never can tell when you read something in print what the body language was like. It sounded like he was very defensive during the conversation, like, yeah, people say that I'm different because of the max contract and my relationship with Billy. But he said all the right things. It looked good in print, but I just get this feeling that behind the scenes he was like, and tell people to get off my back because I'm really tired of all this crap. I mean, what was your read of it in terms of the words were fine, but the tone of it seemed kind of like I'm getting way too much criticism and I don't deserve it.
I think that's a very fair read, and that was certainly kind of the tenor of the conversation. And look, you're right, tone does not translate past the written word. It would have been better on camera, but I always feel like players are a little bit more open and transparent and honest when there's not a camera around. And look, two things about this. I feel like I have a good working professional relationship with Zach, number one. Number two, all credit goes to Zach, because I asked him some pretty direct, loaded questions, and he could have either shut me down or he could have taken them to a different place. And I thought he was incredibly open and honest and transparent. And I want to say, I mean, this sounds like I'm appeasing the players, but I do really want to say this because I've been doing this a long time like you guys have. I think the Bulls, we're very lucky from a media perspective. We have very low maintenance stars. DeMar DeRozan has never said no to any interview request in his time here. Billy Donovan is always available. Win, lose, whatever. These guys, I have colleagues from all over the country that tell me, man, I can't believe the access you get. So we're very fortunate in that regard.
Answer the question, damn it. Answer the question, KC. Come on, you're stalling.
He can't handle the truth.
Is Zach pissed?
Well, I mean, I was getting back to that, but I said it. You read the tenor of the conversation. Pissed might be too strong of a word, but to me, the most telling aspect was when he talked about, when I was asking about his role, and he started going off and saying, we're all asked to do things that are better to try to better the team. And I said, that doesn't really answer the question. And he goes, well, that's the answer I'm giving you, So it's clear, and I've been reporting this all season. He's had issues at times with how he's being utilized. He is in catch and shoot situations a lot, which he likes. But he likes getting downhill. He likes attacking the rim. He likes being the primary guy. So there's a balance there, obviously, to find.
Let's talk playoffs. Let's be realistic here, okay? Because you're a trusted opinion, Casey, because you know the game. All right. So, what are our chances? What are our chances of making the playoffs? Because I'm looking at this. Don't shake your head. I'm not even finished answering the damn question. Don't shake your head right now, Casey. Okay. Realistically, looking at the standings right now as we sit, we are currently 10th. Okay, currently 10th. We are. We're 2 games out of 8th spot, right? 2 games out of 8th spot, and we're 5 games. 5 games out of the 6th spot. What are our chances, Casey? Give me some hope here, because I'm tired of being the only one that believes in this team. Come on, jump on the bandwagon with me, Casey. Come on, I need somebody. I'm by myself sailing out there in the empty ocean, bro. Come on.
I got no life reserver for you, Stacey.
Oh, it's the Titanic, baby. I hit it. I'm going down. Oh, Jack. Jack.
Hey. That 6 seed is sailed. It's 5 games. Come on, man. You've watched this team all season, Stacey. And the other thing is, tell me where they are in relation to the 13th place team. They're closer to 13 than they are to 6.
You got that, Stace.
Hey, you know what? Shut up, Mark. Okay. You know what, Casey? That hurt right there, Casey. That hurt. Let me turn Kobe around. Kobe, I need some Mamba mentality. Let's say Kobe. So Kobe believes in me. Let's go.
What I would always say is define playoffs. I mean, are we counting a play-in game?
No, that don't count.
Playoffs?
That don't count.
I do think they're going to make a play-in game. I do not think they're going to then ultimately come out of that play-in tournament to be the 8th or 7th seed. I do not see that.
Hey, before we let you enjoy the rest of your day, we got to ask you the question that Bulls fans are burning up Twitter about, the always controversial Russell Westbrook. He is now... Well, he's not yet bought out of his contract with the Utah Jazz, but everyone expects that to be a formality. He has a relationship with Billy Donovan and some of the other assistant coaches from his days at Oklahoma City. He's a guy that can push the pace, who's going to play hard for every minute he's on the court, but he does not shoot the 3-ball at all.
Who cares?
What's your take on the possibility of the Bulls adding Russell Westbrook, and do you think they will push hard to sign him?
Get him.
I do think they're going to be in that bidding situation if he does agree to a buyout with the Utah Jazz, which I'm told is not a foregone conclusion. And, this has been reported by many people, including myself. I still think the Clippers have a very good chance as well. If he were to come here, I'm with Team Stacey on this one. See, Stacey, I'm going to throw you a bone here.
Way to go.
I mean, it's like, who cares? I mean,
exactly.
This team's not going to win a championship. It's 25 games. Put a guy out there that plays hard every minute he's on the court. I know he's got faults. I know he's a flawed player right now. He's going to play hard. And I think, throw it out there and see what happens. That's my take on it.
He could even start, couldn't he? On this
Yeah,
team.
he could.
Oh, what? Yeah, he can start.
Yeah.
Don't even question that. He'd probably be their. He arguably might be their best player in the last 25 games.
Come on
Seriously.
now.
Hey, listen, Casey. Listen. I think it's been a character assassination. I made this very clear about Russell Westbrook. It's been a character assassination of this kid's character. The kid is going to be a future Hall of Famer. He's done things in this league that no one ever thought could be done, and he goes to L.A., handpicked by LeBron, GM LeBron, because the GM LeBron sucks. He should be fired. He should have been fired a long time ago, okay? But the player LeBron is a great player, but the GM LeBron is terrible. And he brought all these guys out here, and they made Russell Westbrook the scapegoat. Oh, he shot the ball bad. What's going to happen when D'Angelo Russell and all these other guys don't play up to the standards? Whose fault will it be then? When will the arrow point towards LeBron? Like, maybe it's LeBron. Maybe it's not just these guys. Maybe people just can't play with LeBron.
The other thing I would say is I agree with you, Stacey, on the character assassination, because he's a flawed player now. There's no question about it. But let me just say this. Everyone that I've talked to that has played with that dude says he is an incredible teammate. Always has your back, always plays hard, all about the team. And Billy said that as well. I mean, Billy's just talked about him in conversation multiple times in his time here with the Bulls, and always raves about his professionalism, his readiness to play, his intensity, his motor, his team-first attitude. So, I mean, newsflash, Bulls aren't winning the championship this year. So why not add a guy and just see what happens?
Bring some excitement, some fun, some energy. And what he will bring, I keep telling people this, what he will bring energy and desire every night and force everyone to play hard. Because I believe he'll question you if you're not playing hard. I believe he will say, "Hey man, you got to play hard. You got to get." I believe he will say that, and people will listen to him because of who he is. It's a great pickup. You got nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. See,
there you go.
So you got on the Titanic, baby. It's me and you, Rose and Jack, baby. We're going down together, Casey. I'm not doing it by myself, baby. I don't want to go by myself. So come on with me.
It almost sounded like Billy was recruiting him in some of his post-game comments in Cleveland, where he's talking about we need another shot creator, another guy who can initiate offense, so it's not all on Zach and DeMar. It almost sounded like, Russell, come on down.
I'm sure, obviously it's the organization's responsibility to be in touch with their camp and see this situation and start making those lobbying calls and things like that. So they're going to be involved in the situation. Where it goes, I can't say, but they're going to be involved in the situation.
I saw the money leaving on the table too, Casey, for like $47 million to be bought out.
Yeah, that's why this is not a done deal. Not only can he take a buyout, he could also just go home, be a member of the Utah Jazz and collect paychecks. I mean,
right. It's been done before.
There's several steps this needs to go through, but it'll be interesting if it happens.
You can take the Tim Thomas route.
Wait a minute,
name from the past.
Hold up, Tim didn't get to answer the question.
What's that?
No, Tim Thomas. I was talking about.
No, he needs to ask a question.
Well, his shirt is all messed up. Can you ask a question?
See, we always let him ask a question to the guest. See, Mark, something's going on with Mark over here. He called you Stacey. So go ahead, Tim. Ask your question. Your buddy.
I scarred Casey the last time bringing up an old memory.
No, bring it up.
Well,
man.
go ahead.
Remember that, Casey?
That was fantastic. I remember it was fantastic. I was waiting for another one of that same ilk.
See?
Well, I couldn't find any other women that you hugged inappropriately. So
Wow.
No. There you go.
Wow,
He's a married man. Come on now.
That's how rumors start.
Me inappropriate.
yeah,
Exactly.
See how I did that?
Yeah. See, way to try to break up a happy home. Wow, the man's married. Wow. That's why we don't let you ask questions. There's a reason why Mark passed on you today.
That's why you tore a patch off me.
Yeah. Oh, he's a little upset today. Look at this jacket right here, kids. I don't know if you can see this jacket. This
got a $400 jacket.
A $400 jacket. From where'd you get it? Lord
With
and Taylor?
stick on
Where'd you get it?
Bulls logo.
Saks Fifth Avenue, right? And he gets this cheap patch that should be sewn on. It's glued on by fake Elmer's glue, and it was hanging off, right? So I said, "Oh, is that coming off?" So I ripped it off, and he's mad at me now. He's mad. I'm his best friend for 30 years. He's mad at me because I pulled this cheap Bulls patch off. And get your money back, man.
He's never gotten me any Bulls stuff.
Listen. 30 years of abuse. That's all I'm gonna say. We've been friends for 30 years, and it's been abusive on his part. So you know when you're in trouble, Casey, and they say blink 3 times.
Yeah.
That means call the police.
That's why I'm always
in
blinking.
trouble. I'm always blinking. It's not because I got something in my eye. I'm trying to send a message to the viewers. I'm in trouble. Come on, I love you, man.
You got a question, Whispers?
No.
No?
No, he's got. Yeah, if you did an X-ray of Whisper's brain right now, it'd be like birds flying around. Like the Three Stooges, the little birds flying around in cage.
A couple of crayons up there.
Yeah.
Hey, I got one more for you. Go ahead, Casey.
What do you got?
No, did Patrick Williams get benched the other day in the third quarter for not playing hard?
No, I mean, kind of. I mean, we asked. I mean, he said he was healthy. He said he didn't like how the group was operating.
Yeah.
So he wanted to get Alex and Kobe in. Why he didn't go back to him? He said it's because the group was playing well in that third quarter, which they were in Brooklyn. And then the fourth, Patrick doesn't play in a lot of fourth quarters. So, I don't want to downplay the question mark, but I will say, as far as like beat stories now, so much significance is like dropping on these stories because it's like when you're covering such an underwhelming team, you know what I mean? You're just looking for big stuff, it's like the minutia stuff kind of fades by the wayside right now,
Yeah, but P. Will's future is crucial to this team.
This is true, and I was just going to say that I'm not trying to downplay that his future is important, so that is an important storyline. But just in terms of like one game,
yeah,
I mean, if it happened multiple games, then it's more of a trend, and then we dive into more. But I guess what I'm lightheartedly kind of saying is we're kind of checked out too.
Oh, don't tell me you're going 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Oh, Casey, don't tell me you're falling for that. Come on, man. No, tell me. All right, here's one more question. We're going to let you go so you can watch Super Bowl. Okay, so the Bulls right now are sitting at 26 wins. I was completely off base this year. I said 50 based off of last year. I was going home run, okay? Go big or go home. Obviously, I'm at home. So where do you see their record at the end of this season? They're 26 right now. Not counting playoffs, play-in, at the end of the regular season, where do you see their record?
It's funny because I picked them for 44 wins. And to both of our defense and whatever predictions, I mean, everyone thought Lonzo Ball was me playing at some point this season, right? So that would have added an element to it. But I was not as optimistic. I had him at 44 wins. I was just talking about this with somebody else. I'm not a gambler, but I did know that Vegas set their over-under at 38 victories, and everybody was just apoplectic at the start of the season. Like, what? They're going to be right on, man. That's incredible what those people do, man. I mean, I think that's what they're going to be around 38 wins. So.
Hey, if they don't get Westbrook, any chance they try to bring Derrick Rose home?
No.
I
mean, I think Derrick's staying in New York, isn't he?
Well, there was some talk that they could buy him out. He's got a team option, as you mentioned, for next year.
Yeah, I the last I heard, because I did check on that, the last I heard he was staying in New York, but I don't. All this stuff is fluid. I do think they're going to bring in some guard, and everyone thinks Tony Bradley automatically is going to get waived. I'd keep an eye on Goran Dragic because if they bring in a guard to run the point, he might want to go somewhere else, right? And also, he's not played very well or very much of late. So that's another place I have my eyeballs.
Wait a minute. Before we're speaking of Goran, I'm a big believer. This is me. No one's, I watch the game every night. I think he's a better starter than coming off the bench on this particular team. And the reason why I say that, Casey, is because if you're only going to play him 18, 20 minutes a night anyway, put him in the starting lineup, first and third quarters where this team kind of struggles with, getting good shots, coming out in that third quarter, first 5 minutes, they come out a little lackadaisical. Get a guy that can actually run a pick and roll, take some pressure off of Zach and DeMar having to handle the ball all the time. He's very good at, finding the open spots and then being able to move and be a threat at the three-point line because he can shoot the ball. He hasn't shot the ball well the last few games, but then that's because it's up and down minutes. But I just think he's better at starting than coming off the bench. That's the one thing I'd wish they would do is just try to see if that would work and give this team a boost.
Put him in the Keith Bogan's role, right?
Huh?
Put him in the Keith Bogan's role, right?
Yeah,
that's exactly what Bogan's did.
Yeah.
All he did was play 8 minutes to start the first, 8 minutes to start the third, and he was done.
Yes.
But Tibbs did that all season, and it worked.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. Yeah. That's 3 out of 4 times we've agreed, Stacey.
See?
There you go.
We're on the Titanic, baby. I see the iceberg, baby. I'm trying to avoid it, Casey. But if we go down together, baby, you be Rose, I'll be Jack, baby.
But no, I wouldn't mind seeing that. It's not going to happen now, but I wouldn't mind seeing that try. I just got to say this: it sounds like I'm being critical of Ayo Dosunmu. He should not be a starting point guard, and he's been put in that situation too much his first 2 years in the league. I think he'd be better off, and the team would be better off if he was in a different role.
Yeah, I agree with that because he wants to play fast. He wants to get downhill. And I think, when you look at, him out here with the older players, both him and Patrick defer all the time. Like, I will get the ball as the point guard. He's supposed to he'll hand the ball to one of the two other guys instead of bringing the ball and initiate the offense. The last 2 games before the Brooklyn game, when we were at home against Charlotte, where he was getting downhill, he was getting to the bucket. I mean, he had put a couple of games together after not being on the the sophomore game. He came out and played 2 games back-to-back where he's almost like, I'm going to show you. And he played really well. And then he's gone back to deferring, and which I thought he was going to turn the corner.
Yeah, it's been a year of promise at times from Patrick Williams, but also some worrying signs. So, man, it's just been a weird season all around for sure.
But I'm glad to share with you, Casey. It's been a remarkable ride. You're one of the best in the business. When I see Casey on the road, it just brings a smile to me and Adam's face.
I'm always working. You guys know that. I always have my head down.
Oh yeah, he's always working, man. He's the hardest working man. I thought Adam was the hardest working man, but Casey's the hardest working man. He's got a tough job. Because I heard some of the questions when you asked our tourists. I was listening to. I had the headset on. I was listening. I was like, man, Casey's grilling them, boy. Casey, woo, boy, way to go.
Hey, the Orlando Magic just waived Patrick Beverly, so there's another name that you could.
No.
Chicago Marshall
Pass.
High School.
Pass.
You pass on that one?
I'm passing on that right now. I'm passing on that because I like Patrick Beverly as far as the fiery guy. I like that part of it. But what is he bringing to this team that that's going to help this team? I'd rather take a look at Russell Westbrook. I'd rather take a look at Reggie Jackson if that was available. Guys that can actually come in and really contribute and give you something that you need.
Yeah, Reggie's going to Denver, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Yeah, look at all these guys, man. Jeez.
Yeah.
The buyout market is not as good as you think.
No, it's going to be incredible playoffs. I can't wait for the playoffs.
Oh, the playoffs going to be nice. I still don't. I think what Phoenix has done, we didn't get to talk to you about that. Phoenix really helped themselves, but I still don't see anybody beating Denver, man. I just don't, man. Denver is. Now you got Murray playing better now. He looks healthy. He's moving a lot better. Shots falling. Aaron Gordon has been playing huge for him all season. And then, the Joker, I mean, he's going to probably win the MVP again 3 times in a row.
Incredible stuff.
Yeah, we didn't get to the other trades around the league. Obviously, the Kevin Durant thing is huge, and Kyrie Irving going to Dallas. What other team you think, maybe a little bit down below in terms of big impact trades help themselves the most? Milwaukee gets Jay Crowder. The Lakers really improved their depth.
That's where I went. The Lakers. Yeah. I was stunned. I've been critical of some moves Rob Pelinka has made, obviously, and obviously he's probably making them because of LeBron's presence and pressure. But I thought Rob Pelinka had a fantastic trade deadline. I thought some of those moves they made were fantastic and certainly improved the team for the short term. So I thought they had a very quietly good trade deadline.
It wouldn't shock me if the Lakers make the second round of the playoffs. If they get the right matchup in the opening round.
They got one of the best players in the game.
It's not happening. Yeah. It's not happening. It's not happening. Just stop. Just stop right there. Who they gonna beat in the first round? Because they're most likely gonna be a low seed. So what top team are they gonna beat?
Memphis.
They're not gonna beat
Memphis.
Hell no.
Memphis is so overrated.
Okay, listen. Mark. Mark, what are you drinking today, man? Seriously, I need to know. You've been drinking hot sauce? I don't know what you've been drinking. Hey, they are not beating a top team. I'm sorry. I don't care what their roster looks like. I don't care because you're not beating Denver if they're the number 1 seed, and
beating Phoenix.
You're not beating Phoenix if they're the number 2 seed. So,
who else scares you in the West? Dallas.
Oh, I listen.
Golden State.
Hey, speaking of Golden State is lying in the weeds. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. Casey, we're gonna have you back on the show when Golden State comes up and they're playing for the Western Conference Finals, and you're going, Stacey told me that, and I didn't believe him. So remember I told you this. They're lying in the weeds. But it all depends on health, though. If Steph Curry's not healthy, then they're not gonna make it. But if he's healthy, woo! Surprise.
You can only have you back on the show and play that clip if the Bulls finish in 6th place.
Hey, you know what? Listen, I bet Nick Friedel last year that the Bulls would have a better record than New York, and I said we bet a dinner, nice dinner. He still hasn't paid me. He keeps decking me. Every time I call him, he sends me the voicemail. Every time I see him in Brooklyn, he runs to the other end of the arena where I'm not going to chase him. So I've got some goons looking for Nick Friedel now because he's easy to find now since there's no Kyrie and there's no Kevin Durant. So he'll be
moving again.
Yeah,
they'll send him out there.
He'll be in Phoenix. He'll be in Phoenix.
We got to find Nick a new beat, right?
That's right.
Yeah, he'll be in Phoenix. He'll be in Phoenix. That's my dude. But Nick, I know you listen to the show. I know your mom listens to the show. Miss Friedel, can you please have your son pay off his debt? It's going on 2 years now. I can only go to the mother. I can only go to the mother. She listens to the show. She's a big fan of me and Adams, and she's a great lady. So Miss Friedel, who's in Orlando, please find your son and let him know that he owes me a steak dinner here in Chicago.
And Nick's on a month-to-month lease because ESPN will send him wherever the good team is. Casey, we're going to let you go. We thank you so much for your patience and enjoy the Super Bowl. Stacey will get you some hot sauce.
Did you get your original hot sauce?
What's that?
Did we give you hot sauce last time you came on?
No.
No.
Yeah. Okay, see,
we'll pack it up and hand deliver it.
We got to get it. You going to be at the game on Monday?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good. All right, I'm going to give you your hot sauce at the game on Monday.
There you go.
Let's do it.
Give me the hot sauce.
Who do you guys got in the Super Bowl?
Eagles, baby, fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah, I actually agree with Stacey on something today. I got the Eagles, too.
Don't. Now we're going to lose. Now we're going to freaking lose. Jesus, man. Go the opposite team, Mark.
Casey, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. The great Casey Johnson joining us on Gimme the Hot Sauce. Our thanks to Casey Johnson, who likes to be called Stacey every now and again. So we just wanted to make it feel comfortable here on Gimme the Hot Sauce.
Everybody wants to be called Stacey. It's a wonderful name. Wonderful name, Mark. I'm glad you brought that up.
Hey, Christopher Walken is a versatile actor. I just finished the series Severance on Apple TV, and he plays a gay man in a weird factory.
He's the right guy to pull it off.
He can play any role.
That's right.
He can also peddle some hot sauce. Chris, what do you got for us?
Yeah, and my buddy here, if you're looking at the table, we got some hot sauce with Conor McGregor. He says it's fucking good.
We just lost another sponsor.
Kobe says, what up with that?
Yeah, we got Tyson here.
Nice.
Should we do that too?
Where's Tyson?
Dressing up the studio.
Yeah, that hot sauce is delicious.
Oh, no, here we go again.
That's creepy. Seriously, okay, I'm going to have a nightmare with all these freaking heads here. It was okay with Snoop Doggy Dogg, but we got too many in here now, man. We got Kobe Bean over here.
Some people collect bobbleheads. Whispers collects heads.
Hey, there's some more on the way.
Yeah. Look, there's Kobe right there. There's Kobe. This is kind of creepy.
Hey, where's my head?
You must have watched that Jeffrey Dahmer series. I think that's what got into
you.
it.
I did like that series.
This is kind of creepy, man. This is kind of creepy. Too many heads in here
Heads
right now.
in the freezer. We already checked the freezer.
This is what it looks like. Somebody's head's in the freezer. It's like Ted Williams, baby, in cryogenics.
Where's the crack?
They froze Ted. They froze Ted Williams. His head fell off. Oh, man. Come on, man. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
All right, Chris.
Go ahead, Chris.
All right, Super Bowl Sunday, so you should be spicing up your wings with some hot sauce. We got all the sauces for your kitchen needs. The hot 1871.
Okay, that was unnecessary. That was just nasty. Okay, we don't need to hear that. Just read the damn read, okay?
Hey, I just got credit for being a weirdo.
No, that was creepy right there. That's like a guy looking in the window while you're taking a shower. Just stop doing that, man. Stop.
We're weaving man code violations. And we got everything going.
Yeah, that's a major man code violation.
Use code King21.
What? He's not even sure what impression he's doing now.
I'm not going back and forth here. To get 21%
He's lost
off.
right now.
Iron Mike meets Christopher Walken.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh,
Frankenstein's Bride. What else you got?
Yeah, so just go to givemethehotsauce.com.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of folks out in TV land are enjoying Super Bowl parties and enjoying some of Stacey's signature hot sauce. Goes good with just about anything.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm sure that's going to be a staple at Super Bowl parties throughout the Chicago area.
Let me tell you, America, if you haven't bought my hot sauce, you're missing out. I put it on everything. I mean everything.
Oh, okay.
That was creepy too.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
creepy.
America.
Wow. That's creepy.
No, there might be some people I think that's sexy. Okay, you know when they see your tongue, because there's some people like tongue. They see your tongue come out, they're like, you got a little tongue action there. Okay,
They just took your award away.
yours was creepy. No, mine was sexy. Yours was creepy.
Mine was meant to be creepy.
Yeah, mine wasn't. Mine was meant to be sexy. There's a difference.
Like whispers.
Thank you, Francisco. Was that you? Oh, Nick. Okay, all right, Nick. Way to go, Nick. Good timing. Comedy timing. There.
10 sexiest men in Paris.
Oh, look, America. Sexiest man in Paris. Parlez-vous français? Oui, oui. So all you people in
Just
France,
like
I want to say
whispers.
thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, it took a while for me to get to that point. You know, I wasn't always sexy. I was always cute, but I wasn't always sexy. Okay, so now I'm sexy as I'm getting older, and I just want to say shout out to the Women's Rotary Club in Montana. Because they were the ones who started. There, where's it at?
Yeah.
There it is. 10 sexiest men. Me, Brad Pitt, and Denzel on the cover. I just woke up there. That's how they called me. I don't know how they called me there. I was just waking up, but I didn't have my eyelashes in. I didn't have my hair done. You know what I'm saying? But I was still sexy, Mark.
Hey, Super Bowl predictions are brought to you by Biggers Mazda. Their sizzling new Elgin collection at Randall Road is the biggest Mazda store in the state of Illinois. Biggers is offering a bottle of Stacey's signature hot sauce with the first test drives of new or pre-owned vehicles. It's your choice, everything from the coolest SUVs to the stunning Miata. So join the fun at 2100 Randall Road in Elgin. Head on out to Biggers Mazda. Take a test drive and get a bottle of Stacey's signature hot sauce. So Super Bowl prediction time. I guess we're all on the Eagles.
Yeah.
I may change mine. I don't like this. I don't like the way this has went. Everybody picked the Eagles.
Sriracha Crew likes the Eagles too.
Everybody picked the Eagles, man. I may have to change mine.
Here he goes.
My boy Jalen Hurts, I want him to win because he went to Oklahoma. But since all you freaks picked the Eagles, I may have to go with the Chiefs now.
But you don't have Jalen Hurts as your MVP.
No. I
Okay.
don't. I have A.J. Brown.
But you said your reason you picked the Eagles.
Can I change mine right now, America? I'm taking America. I'm going on record right now. Scratch what you just saw.
Record
okay?
scratch.
I'm going with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes MVP.
right.
Only because everybody in this damn room looks like y'all copied off a test.
Mr. Contrarian.
You copied off a test. What did
No,
Stacey
no,
put?
no.
What did Stacey put? What did Stacey put?
We were all contacted independently by Matt.
No, we were on
I
a
had
group
no
call.
idea.
We're on a group
I
call.
like the A.J. Brown call, though.
Yeah, A.J. Brown. I like him. But I think now it's going to be Patrick Mahomes. Yes.
So we're all headed to different locations to watch the Super Bowl. What kind of snacks you guys like? Maddie was surveying the crew. Whispers, what do you got for your staples for a Super Bowl party?
Oh, you got to go with the buffalo dip made with this hot sauce.
There you go.
Seriously.
Ooh, yeah.
Very
That's
good.
what I'm talking about. Ooh, what is that? Is that like green beans?
Oh, and beer.
Green bean casserole.
That's
yeah.
green bean casserole. I was like, who the hell's eating green bean casserole?
That's
on
my
the
daughter's
Super Bowl?
Super
I'm
Bowl
sorry,
party,
Brooke. If it's your Super Bowl party, that's Mark's daughter. If that's your
Yeah.
Super Bowl party, you eat what you want.
She
you
loves
have
the
those
green bean casserole, yeah.
casserole. It's
Not
one
for
of
the
my
Super Bowl, though.
staples.
No,
Not
no,
one of my staples. Oh, look at her dad turned against her. Oh, way to go, Mark.
What do you got for the Super Bowl, Stacey? What are you serving?
I've been traveling lately.
Yeah.
I've been on the road 3 of the last 4 weeks, but I'm a Lou Malnati's guy. The pizza, Lou Malnati's. They're still my Lou Malnati's. We're still waiting for that sponsorship. But I'm sorry, that was Tracy. I'm sorry, Lou. That wasn't Stacey. It's because Stacey don't beg, but Tracy will. He doesn't turn down nothing but his collar. But I will say this. Pequod's got some good pizza. You just can't eat it the second day. You got to eat it day one. If you eat Pequod's, I'm sorry if we lost you as a sponsor. But I'm being honest. I'm just giving my honest review of the pizzas on day 2. Lou Malnati's pizza is great day 2, day 3. I wouldn't push it past the 3rd day unless it's in the freezer. I would not push it past the 3rd day, America. Just like you ever Walker Brothers? You ever Walker Brothers?
No, I haven't had a chance.
Tim, we eat at Walker Brothers, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, shout out to Walker Brothers, okay? It's one of my favorite restaurants up here in the northwest suburbs. Oh, my God, they got the best Belgian waffle. They got the best apple pancake. Oh, they sell it frozen.
Yeah.
So you can take it home and you can cook it when you want to.
Very nice.
Oh, man, we got off topic. I'm sorry, America.
And if you're having a Super Bowl party, of course, you're probably listening to this the day after, make sure that you hydrate. Hydration is very important. So mix a bottle of water in. And, Tim, where can you get the best water in the northwest suburbs?
I'd go to Angel Water.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
How can the folks
get
get some angel water for themselves?
There's a lot of nasty crap in the water.
Yeah, there
around
is.
here.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So get a hold of Andy. All right. For a free water test to find out what crap is in your water.
Is it over?
Call 847-382-7800. Tell them Stacey sent you.
Is it over?
As for Drew, the water guru,
Drew,
check
the
out
water
his videos
guru
on YouTube.
with the wife beater T-shirt and the hairy shoulders and the gold chain. If you haven't seen him,
Talk about losing sponsors. Oh my goodness.
Drew, if y'all haven't seen Drew the Water Guy on TikTok, check him out, man.
Sure, my phone's ringing.
Have you seen it? Hey, Drew's got the white beater on. He's got the gold chain on,
man.
looking like going to the Roxbury. He's got the hairy shoulders, like it's like, oh Lord, that person just hot.
Sorry, AJ. We'll add another free month.
Drew's my boy. He's my boy. Chief Little Leg. Shout out to Chief Little Leg.
He said, please don't. Just stop talking about me.
No. He's our boy, man. Sorry, Drew.
Everybody's a little punchy because it is Super Bowl Sunday that we're recording this show, and we want to thank the Sriracha crew for coming in. A couple of guys couldn't make it, but the three are here doing fantastic duty. I want to thank Nick and Cisco and Maddie for doing a great job.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
We forgot.
Oh, that's another sponsor, yeah.
Shout out to my boy, Mike Amaroth. He didn't
back?
drive me today.
All right.
Mike went to the Bruce Springsteen concert in Tampa, and then he came back home, drove me to the airport, and then he went right back out to Fort Lauderdale to catch the Bruce Springsteen special
Super Bowl?
concert. 7,000 people.
Wow.
And you had to be
Insider,
special.
yeah.
And see, Mike is special because Bruce knows Mike because he says, hey, I know you protect Stacey King. I know you drive him, and you're third-degree black belt. Stacey speaks highly of you on the Gimme the Hot Sauce podcast. Way to go, boss. Way to be listening. So we're going to send a special shout out to Mike. Mike, this is for you, okay? Don't do anything. Don't mess this
Oh,
up.
yeah. And he always has to buy 3 tickets, right? For those double mint twins.
Oh, my God. He's with the Double Mint Twins right now.
Yeah, Super
It's
Bowl.
a Super Bowl party.
Yeah.
He's got the Double Mint Twins. He's got the Now Later Twins. I mean, he's got all these Skittle girls. He's got everybody there. Matter of fact, we're invited.
Mike's our guy.
We're invited. Windy City provides championship service. Making a reservation is so easy. It's a slam dunk. That's
like Silence of the Lambs in here.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
That is freaking disgusting, dude.
You got a nice bottle of Chianti?
Man. Oh, my God.
Some fava beans.
Yeah.
Some fava beans. Clarice. Let Windy City break the full court pressure of traffic.
I tried to get out of this show.
Get to your destination in style and on time. Contact us at 847-916-9300. That is WindyCityLimos.com. And I'll send you some fava beans and a liver. Clarice.
It was pretty good, actually.
Yeah. He ain't the only one that can do impersonations, okay? I got a whole bunch of them. You're going to see the Black Panther before it's all over.
All right. I think the award, though, goes to Tim trying to do Christopher Walken and Tyson at the same time.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was he got lost.
He got lost
He got
in his
lost
own
in
head.
character. He was in between characters. He didn't know where to
Their
go.
heads right here, I get all messed up.
Yeah, I'm still. We might need to move some of these heads out the way for real. Like,
There's more coming.
No, please, no,
Wait
no.
till you see
no.
yours
Just
sitting
check
there.
out the freezer.
This is inappropriate. This does not. We
Yeah,
have
that is
children.
kind of-
We
yeah.
have children watching this show. Get this out of his mouth. Everything doesn't go in your mouth, Tim. Look at his mouth. Jesus. Oh Lord. Proper 12.
What's going on in the Telluride conference room? That's what we want to know. Anyway, that's going to do it. We hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl as you're listening to this later in the week.
Go Chiefs, go!
Stacey's got one more busy week, and then he and Tim, I think, are going to Fort Myers. We'll get that story when they return.
I don't think it's going to happen, Mark.
Oh, ain't going to happen. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching and listening. Episode 118 of Give Me the Hot Sauce is in the books. Enjoy the week. We'll be talking again real soon. Stacey, got some advice for the folks?
Drive home safely. Be beat. Good job, team. You guys,
Kiss myself. MVP time. Windy City Assassin does it again.